Namaste, my fellow Aquarians. This is our monthly reading, October monthly reading. I've switched to monthlies from bi-weeklies because I continue to have problems with my channel. All kinds of shadow banning and foolishness goes on with the algorithm, and people have to search for me. People that have been watching my videos for years have to search for me. They don't get notifications. The number of views and likes is always wrong. I shared actually this morning on the community tab of my YouTube page, as well as on my Facebook, for those of you who are on it, another one of these screenshots of YouTube saying that the numbers are all off, that, information about my videos is missing or inaccurate. And duh, I knew that already. I have one, I think it's the Cancer horoscope, like zodiac reading, that it has only like 100 views and 130 likes. It probably should have more like 1,000 views, between 1,000 and 1,500, because I tend to have like 10% of likes, of the number of views. In any case, it's all messed up, and you guys get the idea. So as a result of me always having to fight with YouTube and stuff, in addition to living my life and handling, my other work and stuff, I just like couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't. So a lot of times I wouldn't even finish the zodiac when I was doing the bi-weeklies, because I would just run into so much bullshit. So I'm hoping that that ceases to happen with the monthlies, and I'm here to do hours. And I keep saying hours because I am an Aquarius moon, for those of you who don't know. So I'm excited because my other two signs, my rising sign and my sun sign, Gemini and Leo, were really, really awesome. And, I'm trying to go 3 for 3 and get us a really awesome reading as well. So it's off to a good start. We're starting with the 3 of Pentacles, which is a worker energy, and basically is a card that suggests being abundance, incoming abundance, resulting from our efforts and from our work, often from actual labor. It can involve collaborations, so maybe like group projects at work, or group undertakings in terms of businesses, investments, and things like that. But it doesn't have to. But with the 3, it can be about, like I said, like some sort of collaboration or something like that. In any case, in reverse, it suggests that we have been doing really awesome work and we don't dare slack off now. This is not a time to settle. So like in other areas of your life too, it suggests that, like, don't try to take like the easy way out, or to try to be slick and get over, or to what's a good example? All right, so for example, like in relationships, there's that person that often your heart is tied to, but there's this person that makes a lot more sense that your mind is tied to, and or that of society, your friends, family. Why don't you date such and such? He's such a good boy. Well, she's such a good girl, such a nice person, and it's just not there. The spark isn't there. But maybe you settle and you go ahead and be with that person rather than with whom you'd like to be, who maybe doesn't make enough as much money, or isn't considered as good and nice and sweet in the neighborhood as the person that you're actually into, and that sort of thing. So you settle, and your heart's just never happy. Your soul is never happy, and you probably cheat, especially if you're, I don't want to get into gender shaming or whatever, but especially, males have a higher instance of this. Women are often more able to fight it off, unless and until, or the relationship that they're in is like falling apart, and they're headed for separation, divorce, and those sorts of things. Then sometimes they'll go ahead and entertain somebody else. But usually, if they're committed and they're in. Not always the case for men as much. In any case, you guys get the idea. In terms of work, what's an example? Well, just like thinking you're like a shoo-in, and based on your old work that you can get over by not working to the level of which you're capable, in your present endeavors, that it's not going to serve you well to be like that. So keep your standards up to where you've had them, and that's going to pay off for you, is what this card is suggesting, in any and every area of your life. And the card behind it suggests there could be some sort of competition for whatever this applies to. So if it is directly in your work, Five of Wands can often actually be about work and career. There is competition. Maybe there's only 1 or 2 slots at the job. People have to get, laid off or transferred, or there's room to promote, 1 person, 2 people. Are you going to be among them? There is, a special group project that people are wanting to be assigned to, but you have to sort of be chosen. It has to be based on other work that you're doing. Whoever does the best project is going to get picked. How's yours going to go? In terms of, again, relationships and people that we're dating, there could be a lot of people that are interested in the person in whom we're interested, or a lot of people interested in us, and our person is sort of having to like fight for us. And this card can also be about conflict, and where it is, for me, it tends to most likely be, if it's not about an individual being conflicted, then it's conflict with friends and or family. And so it could be even fighting over like household funds and inheritance. You know how sometimes siblings get to, or the relatives in general get to fighting over some inheritance that someone left. No, mama said this was mine. That's yours. They wanted me to have the house. They wanted you to have the car. And it gets into a whole thing. So that could be going on too with some Aquarians. All right, let's see what the next card is. You know what? This is not a court card, but I promise you, when I had got a feeling that an earth sign may be involved, and or money, as I just mentioned. And here we have the Page of Pentacles. So that's interesting. Yeah, it may involve a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and or it can be about money or some sort of asset, and maybe therefore again connected directly to our work and or finances. But then we have the Two of Cups in reverse. And that takes us back to the possibility that it has something to do with a relationship, and maybe not being with who your heart really wants you to be with, or and settling on a person. I could do this all day and go through the cards. This, of course, is a card that represents sort of beginning to shake off fear and unstick yourself. So if it is one of those cases where you've been like kept away from somebody in whom you're interested, whether they're an earth sign or earth sign like, meaning like a provider and somebody that's secure and stable, or it has to do with your own work and finances and some sort of competition, if you do your best work, you should be fine. Put your best foot forward, you should be fine. And this is another card that would indicate that there are several different options that we could possibly take. And it's about deciding on the appropriate one. Pentacles and the Fool in reverse. So the Fool in reverse is, for the most part, and at least in a general sense, similar to the Fool upright. But as it relates to relationships, it can say we're not really necessarily ready for a relationship, and maybe there's something else, like our need for independence and freedom could be getting in the way of our relationships or attempts to meet somebody. And moving on to the Chariot. The Chariot is a card of victory. Again, for those who are competing for something, maybe in work, Eight of Pentacles is another card that suggests you got to put some effort into something, put your best foot forward. And here we are back at this Two of Cups. On that note, I will cut after this one. Two of Cups in reverse. Two people are not on the same page. Maybe there's some sort of disagreement or something's not working out for them. And they may need more balance in their relationship. Could be what that's about. Or something's blocking them from coming together. But we end on, and our new overall energy is the Knight of Cups. Wonderful card in any and every area of your life that it touches. It is about, if it's about your work, for example, that position, that job, that career that you could really fall in love with. You feel fulfilled. You feel like you're giving back to humanity when you're in this job. Of course, the obvious is that this is like a Prince Charming. This is a very romantic suitor, potentially. This is an ex, very possibly, in my readings. Knight of Cups is somebody like that's returning to our life, or wants to, or somebody into whose life we wish to return. It is very possibly a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes as well. And look at that. Isn't that something? You guys saw me shuffle and cut. Here we are back with the Three of Pentacles with which we started. So yeah, it could be your dream job. It could be that asset, or again, inheritance, something that you really love and you're emotionally connected to from somebody to whom you were emotionally connected. And so it's really special to you that you get this item. Like when my great grandmother passed away, and we're like, oh, you should take this, you should take that. And I was like, you know what I want? And they're like, what? I'm like, her Bible. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, she had it all the time. I mean, and she kept it very close to her. So I appreciate if I can have that. And they're, my family, of course, they were like, sure, you can take the Bible. None of us were going to jump at that. So it's like that sort of thing, that it has some sort of value to you, sentimental value that can't be replaced with these two cards together. Also, again, in terms of relationships, it could definitely be about somebody who has a mutual adoration for you. You see each other in a really positive light. And if it's about meeting somebody, it's somebody who definitely has the makings to be the one in your eyes. And they see you the same way. So we can stop holding on to the ghosts of the past in our relationships and get off our butts and go work, go put effort into what we want. That's going to make us happy. All right, I'm going to get the stand so we can choose 4 cards on which to focus. And the stands will help us to see them clearly without me having to hold them as I talk about them. That should be a good place. If it's not, I'll move it. The first card will most directly represent us over the course of the month. It is that 8 of Swords in reverse. That's why I like to show like what it is I shuffled, if I remember, so that when the cards pop back up in the reading, we see that it's just like extra confirmation. Like what are the chances of this card coming back up if it wasn't meant for us to have it? After you saw me shuffle, you saw me cut into like 8 different piles, what are the chances? So surrounding energy, close friends, family members, co-workers, again, maybe something going on at the job. 10 of Wands in reverse. Well, it's not off to as sexy or exciting a start in this regard as my Gemini reading or my Leo reading. But let's see what happens with work and finance. It's not a bad reading. 7 of Cups in reverse. So all the cards that we saw a few moments ago popping back up. Last but not least, love and relationship. Queen of Wands in reverse. All right, so now check to make sure it is in frame good. I think it is. All right, so I want us to keep in mind that the overall energy is the Knight of Cups. So it is a very positive energy. May involve, again, a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. May involve someone returning to our life from the past, or at least wanting to, or attempting to, or us wanting to return to somebody or reunite with somebody. Again, the 3 of Pentacles, very, very positive card. Could definitely be about collaboration with work. We'll get more into that. What was the next card? Was the 4 of Cups in reverse. So we're ready to get off our butts and to do something. And that's the same thing that the 8 of Swords in reverse says. It also suggests that we wish we had like more information, because while we're letting go of fear, it doesn't mean that we're automatically fearless. And we wish that we sort of had all the information so we can make a whole scenario in our head. You know how we air signs do, right? Before we actually venture out, we like to plan the entire thing or view the entire thing like a movie in our heads and then do it. So we won't be getting the chance to do that, but we are ready to start going out into the world and facing some of the challenges that we've been having this month in different areas. Or, if it is about going to get the guy or the girl, going after them, or allowing ourselves to be caught by the guy or the girl for a change, letting that happen. We're ready to, sort of be free and organic and allow this sort of thing to happen. In terms of the work projects it may be connected to based on the Three of Pentacles, it says that those are probably going to be moving ahead a lot sooner than we expected and be really positive for us and work out well. We should be proud of our work and our accomplishments and our contributions to any and everything we do. And again, that should be something that encourages us to continue to put our best foot forward with thinking about the Three of Pentacles in reverse, keeping that part in mind also. In terms of love, it's also a very positive card. Again, it's if you're single, it can indicate that we're maybe even about to be swept off our feet. If we're in a relationship, that maybe it will get into the next stage, and possibly even final stages. So whatever that means, whatever that means for us, in terms of relationships, it often is about getting engaged, getting married, entering a real solid commitment of some sort. But, whatever the next stage is for you, or at least, like specifically in the context of love, things that we would like to hear, hearing them maybe all of a sudden. And that's why I said Aquarius needs to be ready, willing, and able to sort of let their guard down. We are super independent people. We got to be open if we're interested in these kind of relationships, to be interdependent and, to allow our partners to have some space and room and say in the relationship, too, while we do. And to know that we got to share somewhat. Yes, we're independent people. Yes, we can be private people. An Aquarius is that person who is ready to be the one man on an island, facing a situation and taking a stand and all of that. Like I said, I'm Aquarius many different times over, not just my moon sign. So I totally get it. But relationships are about sharing ourselves, sharing our space, sharing, maybe our resources with another person. So this is maybe about letting go of that fear of doing that and being open. This is why exactly they say that we have the most difficult time of any other on the zodiac in entering partnership and with relationships. It is Aquarius that is listed number one typically in that regard. So the guidance is just to really be open to, exploring and expressing your feelings. All right, so moving on to the Eight of Swords a little bit more directly. Although I think I touched on like the major points. It's about taking like one day at a time, one step at a time, not worrying. Worrying doesn't help. It doesn't solve anything. In fact, not only does it not help, it can hurt, because if we're in a attempting to manifest something, successful relationship or job or whatever it is, we're attempting to manifest something, the idea is to hold positive thoughts and a positive intention in mind. If our mind is full of worry and anxiety, then those are negative emotions. And so we have the potential to manifest something that we don't want in our lives. Just be careful of that. Moving on to the Ten of Wands in reverse. This is a card that we may be very tired with, like we're sort of over delays and feeling like, what's it called when you overextended, like when you're doing too many things and you have too many responsibilities, too many people relying on you. And this isn't necessarily our energy, but it can be. It can also be that of, again, the people that are closest to us, our close friends, our family members, our romantic interests and or partners, or our co-workers and stuff. Just like I'm over the delay. So if we're working on something collaborative, for example, a project, and maybe if one person's holding it up, the rest of us are who's suffering with the delay. You know what I mean? So it can manifest in that way in your life. If you are able, or if whomever this is affecting, they're close to you, and maybe it's therefore affecting you indirectly. If the person is able to at all, like, take a break, even if it's just for a couple hours or whatever, to sort of de-stress, that will be helpful. You know, they surround themselves over with more positive energy, positive people in that time. If they're not going to spend it by themselves, just like, you know, sort of clearing their head, that would be helpful. In romantic relationships, it could be saying it's time to put the cards on the table and, you know, like face the music. We've been unhappy for a long time, or I've been, or you've been, or we've both been, you know, and it's just time to get it figured out. Do we want to try to face these challenges, fix them, and move on together? Or is this the end? And, you know, I will point out this Ten of Wands is the same energy or element as the card representing our love and relationship. The Queen of Wands in reverse, and both are in reverse, so they could very well be connected. And this may be the person with whom we're dealing, an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone like into those traits or attributes. Although the Queen of Wands in the position of love in relationship has her own meaning as well, and we'll get to that in a second. In terms of work and finance, with the Ten of Wands in reverse, we may be thinking about like seeking new employment, like we're just not happy with the job. And again, with all these cups over here in that position, you know, it does sound or it does look like, rather, not sound, look like we have a lot of options and stuff, or other possibilities, other considerations, maybe other goals that are not being reached. We're not feeling fulfilled, we're not feeling happy in our job, and so that, you know, there's reason to change that. But again, it's not advised to try to take anything the easy way out. Take it one day at a time, one step at a time, get it figured out, you know, and make a sound decision for yourself. Aquarius is the sign of freedom and humanitarianism, so it could be very important to you that your job sort of align with your ideologies, that you feel like you are serving a higher purpose, or serving humanity, you know, because it's part of your nature as an Aquarius. So moving on to this Seven of Cups, like I said, it's in the work and finance position, so it can say that there could be somebody at your job that you may need to watch out for. They're not necessarily, I mean, they could be less than truthful. Maybe it's this person you're collaborating with potentially, that you're waiting on, that the group is waiting on. They might be not be on the up and up. They might be not telling the truth. Definitely keep your confidence up, believe in yourself, and if you and pay attention to your instincts too and your intuition. If you think something's wrong, you know, it probably is, and you'll want to address that and call them out if necessary, if you have to. In terms of finances specifically, it's about not necessarily taking risks right now. You know, it's not the best time to gamble. And I really never feel like it's a good time to gamble if we're gambling money that we may need, you know, or gambling something, whatever, assets, material that we may need. We can play around with what's extra if we like. But this is a time when you may not even want to do that. And lastly, love and relationships with the Queen of Wands. Again, she is very potentially not only a feminine energy, but an actual woman, older perhaps, light-haired perhaps, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could very well be a mother or like mother-in-law type who is sticking her nose where it doesn't necessarily belong. So if possible, you will want to sort of make this woman your ally, and that will serve you better than being, you know, her enemy. Regardless of how you feel about her, although you should never be fake, you know. So if it causes you, if you dislike her so much that it causes you to be fake in order to have her as your ally, then that's not going to serve you either. Just, you know, try to keep respectable boundaries between the two of you. If she could be getting in the way in a negative way though. Again, with the Ten of Wands showing up in the same suit, because if that applies, it means there are challenges, and she may very well be the challenge. Although, again, if she's an ally, there's a potential for her to help to sort of quell some of the challenges that you're facing. So each person will be different, and you'll know how exactly it applies to you, if at all. If you're single, then there is a potential for like maybe even an older woman or somebody, again, same light-haired, potentially older woman, to somehow facilitate you meeting a new partner, whether it's, I don't know, through work or some sort of social connection, a network or whatever, or again, your mother figure, they introduce you, something like that could happen. And you're even guided to talk to women in your life, feminine energies in your life, and, you know, let them know that you're actively looking for somebody if you are. And then they might be like, oh, I have just the person for you. And you should be able to trust that connection, at least in terms of meeting somebody, like it's worth a shot. All right, I'm going to supplement these cards now with some of my other cards from my fortune reading deck, oracle deck. Beginning with Eagle, which is totally representative of air energy for me. Actually, Eagle is my, animal spirit, my like animal totem, as they say. You will soar towards your destiny with greater clarity and strength. So it's about coming into some sort of enlightenment or thinking something through, allowing something to come to a natural end, maybe connected again to this Ten of Wands. Especially if it has to do with relationship or job. That's another possibility of potential ends. Natural endings abound. Take care with your health. So not trying to fight something and keep it from ending if it needs to and is meant to could be harmful to our health. So that's the idea there. Eagle again. Cracker. Positive energy surrounds you. Love, joy, and good fortune await. Eagle. Snake, your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path, but be careful. So again, that could be coming in here with this person that might not be legit. And again, your intuition, your instincts are going to show you whether or not they are, and you should believe them. But, just be mindful of it. Careful in that sense. Snake. And Chariot. Charge ahead with confidence. Stay strong and focused. I'll cut these. And your overall energy is Phoenix. Be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. All right, so the card that will most directly represent us over the month from this deck is Eagle. Again, I think it's appropriate. You will soar towards your destiny with greater clarity and strength. And that's maybe what's enabling us to let go of any fears that have been inhibiting us and holding us back previously. Surrounding energy, close friends, family members, co-workers, and such. Mountain. Know that you're protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. So we talked about this representing a challenging energy, whether it is you that's facing it and or people that are surrounding you and it's there, it's affecting you sort of indirectly. Everything will be okay there too. They have support. Work and finance, Seven of Cups, proposal. A romantic or business opportunity is indicated. So that's perfect there. Perfect placement for that one. And last but not least, love and relationship. Atop the Queen of Wands, Chariot is back. Charge ahead with confidence. Stay strong and focused. So whether you're looking for a new partner or again trying to repair an old relationship or end one and you got to walk away from it, which can be difficult, charge ahead with confidence. Hope you guys have enjoyed the reading. I will be back next month. And if you did, please enjoy the reading, that is. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. If you're not yet a subscriber, consider becoming one by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button. And hopefully you will receive at least your notifications when I put up a new video. I appreciate it. Thank you. Namaste.